Boy, is there a lot going on today to talk about. Quite a few things. We got some Call of Duty stuff that I'm going to talk about in this video because it is kind of related to this topic. So I want to go over it and give my thoughts on it. But let's start here with everybody's favorite topic, one of my favorite topics to cover, and that is, of course, everything going on with Anheuser-Busch and their now number 2 brand, Bud Light. Budweiser, I think, is like 3 or 4. But they're trying something new. Spotted in the wild by movie hero Pez. Thank you for tagging me on this. This is their latest scheme to get out of the current controversy surrounding them. They now have Bud Light packaging and Budweiser packaging with Harley-Davidson motorcycles branding on them. Now, this is funny for a few reasons. Number one, I mean, and I ride motorcycles, but I'm not delusional when it comes to them. The sport, the hobby itself, it's kind of aging out. I mean, just a lot of people just don't get motorcycles anymore. Number one, they can't afford them, especially these motorcycles. These motorcycles are expensive. But even the crotch rocket sport bikes, if you want to get a brand new one, they're still like $20,000, especially if you want to get a leader bike like a 1000 race bike. Those are like $20-something thousand because they have all of this crazy technology on them. And then if you want to get a 600, those aren't cheap either. So you got to get a used one. And just a lot of people, and even the used ones are kind of expensive. If you wanted to get a decent one, you're going to have to spend like $10,000. And I mean, who has that money? Especially if you're a kid. A lot of them don't have that money. So, I mean, it's a dying hobby. And it sucks because I really enjoy riding motorcycles. It's almost kind of like a therapy. You wouldn't understand what I'm saying unless you did it. That's all I can say. But it's also very dangerous. It's dangerous and expensive. And I think that's just turning a lot of people off. So who is this for then? Well, of course, it's for the older people, especially ones that ride Harleys, most of them, especially new ones, because these bikes even used are expensive. Like this brand, that's the Harley-Davidson's major problems. Their bikes are too damn expensive. It's like buying a car. Oh, you could buy a car or a motorcycle? I mean, come on. So, to put it, here's a good example. Harley-Davidson's best-selling motorcycle is the one with 3 wheels. They're trikes. Who do you think rides those? Like 60, 70-year-old men. They can't ride the regular ones anymore. They can't keep their balance on them. So, I mean, this brand not as prestigious as it used to be, but it still has that kind of hardcore masculine image behind it, and that's what they're trying to do with this. Now, I wonder if Harley-Davidson even knew what was going on with Budweiser, because this makes their brand look bad. It looks bad, in my opinion, for them to have this on here. Because, well, I mean, come on. Last thing you want to do is be associated with Budweiser right now. This is the last brand you want to be associated with, especially if you're trying to be like a hardcore man, a manly man, which is what that symbol kind of represents, at least what it wants to be. So, for Bud Light and Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, this is no-brainer. We could put this on here. We could be an American bad man again. And that's just not going to work. If anything, this just drags Harley-Davidson down in the mud. They tried this before. Remember, they tried to do camo cans? That didn't work. Well, now we'll slap a Harley-Davidson logo on it. We'll see if that works this time. Probably won't. I mean, what's next for this brand? What are they going to do? You have the former executive weighing in again, making good points once again. He says the company needs to clearly come out and state what the purpose of their corporation is and what the purpose of brands like Bud Light are and who the customers are for those brands. He told Fox Business in a Wednesday interview. He referenced Anheuser-Busch's broader mission of dreaming big to create a future with more cheers, something he argued they obviously haven't done in this Bud Light situation. Historically, Bud Light has always been easy to drink, easy to enjoy because it didn't get involved in controversial political issues, he said. It was a brand that was about sports, it was about music, it was about backyard barbecues. That's what made it into the largest beer brand in the country because it was shared by all people. It was already one of the most inclusive brands that was out there. I think they need to be clear about that moving forward, that for a brand like Bud Light, it is going to not be involved in political issues going forward. It's good advice, actually, and he's right. That is what the brand was, barbecues, music, and sports. And they threw all of that away in one advertisement. So that's what's going on with them. The other thing going on is this Nickmercs guy. So Nickmercs is a big Call of Duty influencer. I don't watch any of this stuff. The only streamer I ever watch is Dr. Disrespect, and no offense to him. It's rare that I do because I don't really like watching gaming streams. I do watch Heel versus Babyface do his from time to time because I like Heel versus Babyface, and I think he's funny. But that's pretty much it as far as gaming streams. I don't really watch too many other gaming streams, and so I'm not really that familiar with Nickmercs, but that doesn't really matter because of what's going on here. So he's a huge streamer. And he came out and responded. If you didn't know, there was a big brawl between some Armenians and Antifa at a school because the parents, they were all Armenians. That's what I'm pointing out here. But they were calling these people white supremacists, by the way. But they're all Armenians, sure. Add another one to the list. So they didn't like that the school was doing some big demonstration and talking about a lot of these things that are going on in schools right now. And, I think personally it should be parents that talks to their children about this, not third parties. These are serious issues. But that's not good enough for people. They want to be the ones to teach your children. And I disagree with that. And apparently Nickmercs doesn't agree with that either because he said they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. And, of course, everyone starts going insane. And Call of Duty revoked the operator bundle that he had. They had some kind of deal with him where you could wear probably a Nickmercs skin. That's what I'm guessing, some kind of Nickmercs look-alike, and you could play as him in the game. And there's a lot of people that watch these streamers, so I'm sure that there was a market for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't do this. But they doesn't matter. They pulled it because he wants to be the one to teach his children about certain issues. And I see nothing wrong with that. It should be up to the parents to teach their children, not some blue-haired teacher. I don't think that that's a crazy stance. But all of these people that don't have children, by the way, mostly, all of these childless people have a lot of opinions about your children, and I disagree with that. I don't give a damn what you think my children should be learning, especially if you don't have kids. Who are you to tell a parent what they need to do with their children? And that's basically what he said. A little bit, not as hard as I just said it, but I don't think what he's saying is crazy here. And he even came out and clarified and said, "Listen, I want to be the one to teach my children. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I want to be the one to teach my children about this stuff. I don't see the problem here." But apparently that's enough for Call of Duty to pull their deal with him. It's insane. So, let Call of Duty be the next Bud Light. The game's old anyway. I really wish people would stop supporting this because it's destroyed gaming in a lot of ways, the way they do these yearly games and abandon the old ones, and they still sell like crazy. It's insane to me. I mean, the sales have gone down quite a bit, but it's still high enough that these games make money. They're not making as much as they used to, but they're still making money. So, I mean, I find it funny, Bud Light can be brought to its knees, but when it comes to entertainment, people just go and do it anyway. It is kind of funny. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.